I'm going to talk to you about nonverbal communication, body language. We're going to look at rapport. Our topic today is rapport. 3 aspects. Number 1, how to approach men, how to approach women. You see, we're looking at a first impression, and the first impression is formed through nonverbal communication. We'll get into it in a little more depth in a moment. Number 2, handshakes. You meet people every day of your life, and in sales, you'd better continue to meet people. If you want your business to grow, that has to be a part of it. Please realize what's going on here. When you meet an individual and you shake hands, you're getting the greatest amount of information in the shortest amount of time. I want to share with you a set of tools for more accurately assessing the act of a handshake. Number 3, we're going to look at listening skills. I'll give it to you plain and simple. You will be paid in direct proportion to your ability to listen. 7 out of 10 women agree with the following statement. I do not trust a man who wears pinky rings. I do not trust a man who wears pinky rings. All right? Now, if you're one of the 4 males I've identified who's currently dropping that bad boy in your left pocket, let's take a look at the perspective here. If you are wearing a pinky ring, let's be real. Am I actually saying you cheat on your spouse? No. You're thinking about it, dude. Let me share with you why I bring this information up. I want to look at the nature of nonverbal communication. Believe me, that pinky ring thing gets me in a lot of trouble. 2 years ago, Prudential Securities, Newark, New Jersey. 7 out of 10 women do not trust a man who wears a pinky ring. Newark, New Jersey? What was I thinking? Half the room. Hey. One guy couldn't help himself. He stood up, he said, "Do you hear what he said?" As of January 1st, licensed professional women in the state of Ohio will be required by state law. Women who are licensed will be required by state law. When transacting business with a male, you will now be required to break eye contact at least once a minute. It's a joke. You're writing down, break eye contact at least once a minute. It's not a state law, but it should be. Let me tell you how it's going to work, because I always feel obliged to warn you, ladies, of what you're dealing with. Ladies, if you are working with a male prospect and you've never worked with them before, I do not care what your age is. I do not care what his age is. You could work with an 88-year-old cane-wielding geriatric. Ladies, 4 minutes of unbroken eye contact with a male prospect, you got bad news. There's not a man in the state who will fail to walk away from that meeting without the following conclusion. She wants me. You're walking into the outer office. You have a male seated on a sofa. There's no coffee table. You can approach him head on. Should you? How do you approach men? How do you approach women? Most of you are not conscious. Let me share with you what you should be considering in an approach. Realize you've got 3 seconds before the first impression starts to be molded in a solid way. What you've got when you approach a male head on is a problem. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female approaching. A direct frontal approach to a male, inappropriate. Stand up to sell. Now you gather information from a person. Standing up one-on-one, doesn't that seem kind of strange? How would you pull that off? Get a flip chart or a dry marker board in your office. Mr. Smith, can I show you one thing about retirement planning? Stand up, draw whatever you need, never sit down again. You, by standing up, greatly enhance your personal power. And it's an age-related phenomenon. Our experience is the more youthful you physically appear, the more powerful this will be towards helping you. Let's consider some behavior with regards to sitting. Okay? Let's go out in the outer office. Wouldn't it be great to know, and this is predominantly for males, wouldn't it be great to know what behavior would indicate high net worth, high social status? Let's take a look at it. The average male will cross his leg on the North American continent in this fashion. The average male puts an ankle on the knee. Projection, masculinity. Now mind you, We are the only culture in the world who tolerates this leg cross. For every other culture, this is perceived as vulgar. Over the age of 45, it's a subtle little shift, but you know if you've been there. The hips are not as flexible as they used to be. The ankle is now outside the knee. It looks masculine, but we're hanging on for dear life right at this point. Ladies and gentlemen, 12% of the time when you meet a male prospect in the outer office, you'll see the 2-point cross. He will sit with one knee atop the other. The aristocratic leg cross. On the North American continent, 12% of adult males sit with one knee on top of the other. The social status indicator is high. What we're looking at is high social status, high social accomplishment, high net worth. This is a very good indication that this individual is an achiever. Kind of a nifty little tip.